Einstein uncomfortable with? Is it the bizarre world of quantum mechanics when the experiments and the results prove something else? Or was it that something from the classical world did not match with the statistical probabilities of quantum mechanics? Was Einstein a theist or an atheist? In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Einstein's thoughts on quantum mechanics, classical physics, and I want to remove some of the misconceptions that people have about Einstein. When we read about statements like God does not play dice, automatically we might think that, okay, Einstein did not believe in God, or might be Einstein believed in God, but it is not the God that we believed, maybe some superior human being or something, well, we really do not know. Statements like God does not play dice, spooky action at a distance, sometimes reflects some thoughts which we are yet to discover about Einstein and his thoughts. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Einstein's deep insights into mathematics, physics, and most importantly, remove some of the misconceptions we have. And we would like to know mostly about the philosophical insights which Einstein perceived. My name is Shaunak and you're watching this video on my channel Physics for Students. A warm welcome. If you look into the letter that Einstein wrote to Max Born, as you can see right in the screen, he says quantum mechanics is certainly imposing. Now if you go literally by the word imposing, it means something which is good, something great. So first of all, we need to understand that Einstein was not against quantum mechanics. Then he writes, but on inner soul and inner voice tells that it is not yet the real thing. Now remember, let us see that what this means, the inner voice. That means this will become clear in the next line. The theory says a lot. The theory says a lot. That means Einstein is agreeing to the thought that yes, the theory is indeed saying a lot, but does not bring us closer to the secret of the old one. Now, this is something which we need to understand. When we say that it does not bring to the old one, what does it mean by the old one? It means basically the grand unified theory, the theory of everything, right? So what Einstein is telling, although the physics of quantum mechanics is very good, but yet it does not reconcile with the old one, right? And he says further that I, at any rate, am convinced that he is not playing dice. That means God does not play dice. We will come to that. Now, next he says, if you go skip a little bit, two lines later, I'm working very hard at deducing the equations of motion of material points regarded as singularities, given the differential equations of general theory of relativity. Now, I really don't feel that I need to, elaborate what our material points equations are. These are kind of, I would say, classical, classical equations which are difficult to draw on a 3D, has been reduced to drawing something on a two-dimensional surface. So you see that the contradiction, or what Einstein actually believes, that he already believes that these singularities are creating a problem in his mind. He is working with general theory of relativity, certain equations which leads to singularities. So he says that I am fighting hard in order to remove the singularities, and I think that it does not bring closer to the old one, and I'm convinced that he does not play dice. Now if you read later a book called Subtle is the Lord, right? It is written, I think, by Abraham Pace. It's a very good book on the life, works and thoughts of Albert Einstein. You will also see that Einstein did not believe in the God, especially the Abrahamic God who is going to punish, who is going to curse and things like that. I mean to say what the Abrahamic religion tells about God. He said that I believed in the God of Spinoza. Now, I really don't want to go into philosophy because this channel and this talks is all is about physics and mathematics. But if you read the God of Spinoza, he later has told that a God which is in harmony of everything. Now, you see that this harmony is being broken with quantum mechanics, right? Why it is so, we will come to that part later. So this part of our video, we are very clear that Einstein is not speaking of any theist, atheist, or any religious thing. But his God is something who is in harmony with each other. You will see that if you read the book Subtle is the Lord, at many places Einstein has, admitted that let the God be there who is something we cannot know, and we should appreciate, we should pray, and we should be happy with the unknown. Now here I would like to take a leap back about 1.5 years back, when I made a video on Tagore-Einstein conversation. It is there in my playlist, Tagore-Einstein conversation. It is a wonderful conversation which took place between Rabindranath Tagore and Albert Einstein. And in that kind of a conversation, this is the same, I would say, difference of opinion with Tagore and Einstein. Now, Einstein believed in a God which is something different from us. Maybe he is staying over there, right? And we are different from that God, right? And Tagore constantly believed that, no, the God is within me. So he told the famous quotation, Aham Brahmasmi, that is, I am the Lord, I am the God, I am the Brahma. So that difference of opinion still reflects here, that God is in harmony is something else out here. I am out here who will never know God, and we will appreciate the wonderful beauty and stay as itself. So you see the difference. The difference is not with quantum mechanics, but with a belief system. Einstein's belief of God or superhuman being or a supernatural is something which is different from us. And Tagore's belief was that we are the entire universe is subsumed. He uses the word subsumed. That means if I know myself, I will know God. God is not something else. God is not something, and it is the realization that makes myself in unison with God. So this belief actually was something he told God does not play dice. That means there is nothing which is not in harmony with each other, because Einstein believed in a God of Spinoza which is always in harmony with each other. Okay, now we come to few of the important points regarding quantum physics which I would like to elaborate, and I would like to say, because this quantum physics is something which Einstein, although believed that the world in the subatomic realm has done a lot of contribution, quantum physics, but morally he cannot accept. Now you see something like you have given birth to your son, but somehow you cannot believe your son. That is what actually made Einstein a kind of a tussle or subtle, I would say a fight with the coincidence, because he himself has given birth to quantum mechanics. He himself has found out the equation E equals to h nu. He himself has framed photoelectric effect, which is basically the first step towards showing that light or photons does not emit in a continuous wave but in a quanta. Now you see that giving birth to quantum mechanics, Einstein, obviously Max Planck was there, but it was Einstein. So you see that Einstein gave birth to quantum mechanics, now he cannot agree. Such an irony, right? The first thing that actually baffled Einstein was the wave function collapse. Now here is a particle, here is a particle. If I see this particle, it is always both in a superposition of head and tail, and when I see that particular particle, it will automatically collapse. And this collapse happens randomly. So if I am given a set of lot of particles, or the experiment which is carried on, or I test it 100 times, 500 times, maybe 1 million times, I will possibly get a pattern in which 70% is yes, 30% is no. But I have no way in which I can point out something individually that where that particle will land into, or what is the behavior of the particle. So this was the first problem with Albert Einstein, that how can the electron or the subatomic particle can stay in both the states, both up and down, both head and tails. Okay, I will try to go back again to Tagore's conversation. I would like to try to point you out one thing, that when Tagore was telling that, okay, without human being, nothing exists, even not God even exists. Einstein told that, so the beauty of Apollo Belvedere won't exist without human being. Tagore, so no, it won't exist. Because it is the human beings, it is human beings' effort which has made the Apollo Belvedere. Right? And he says, if I close my eyes, then the beauty is not there. Obviously, if I am not there, how can I see the statue, the entire world? But Tagore went on telling that the beauty still exists within the subconscious mind or subsumed within the super inner self, that is God. So for him, how can an electron or subatomic particle stay in two superpositions? Because that is what Einstein never believed. And you see, that is what neither Einstein believed with his talks on quantum mechanics, letter to Max Born, and the same belief he perceived with Tagore when he told that if I shut down my eyes, the world doesn't exist, or the beauty doesn't exist. There's a famous, I would say, a famous example of a chair in a house, a table in a house. Tagore says, yet the table exists. Yes, it exists. But Einstein tells that if I shut down my eyes, the table does not exist. So first is the wave function collapse. How can an electron or a particle quantum states? Same with Tagore, he told that yes, the beauty still remains. The second thing was, I already told you that it was superposition. Those things are staying together. So superposition, wave function collapse, both of them are related to each other. And Einstein's classical mind was not in harmony with what he believed. I was reading the book Subtle is the Lord, and you will see that there Max Planck also was unable to cop up, was unable to find out that the quantum mechanics behaves in a bizarre way. Why? Because both Max Planck and Albert Einstein, they came out from the classical thoughts of generativity, electromagnetism, I would say thermodynamics. These are all classical thoughts. Classical means if I throw a ball and I repeat the experiment every time, it is going to be the same. This is what is called classical. And quantum physics was never classical. Right. And the final one, which baffled Einstein till the end of his life, I think, is quantum entanglement. Now, in my video, God Does Not Play Dice, I really cannot find out. I would say the video went a little bit longer, so I could not tell that some of the conception is that quantum entanglement means the violation of the speed of light. Absolutely not. I will give you a classic example. I don't have a coin right now, so if I toss the coin, it will go up, right? And it will either fall a head and a tail. The question is that if it falls on head, and if I ask you this question, that tell me that when the tail falls, when, I mean to say what time the tail will fall, what would be the answer? The answer is instantaneously. If I flip the coin and it falls as a tail, the answer for the head would be instantaneously. So if you look at the time independent equation of Erwin Schrödinger, we call it the Schrödinger equation, you will see that the time really cancels out. So the problem during that time was that we always have a mind, always have a thought that there is a time which is going away and we need to measure time in an axis or separately. But here in quantum mechanics, what happens is there is nothing called time. So it doesn't happen that there is a time or information is traveling separately. There is no information. It happens instantaneously. And that is why Einstein quoted the term spooky action at a distance. So spooky means ghostly, right? If you go to the dictionary, you will see spooky means ghostly. So the belief of Einstein was that how can this happen? That a particle far away from here, both of them, if I make a change over here, there is an instantaneous change. And the special theory of relativity published in 1905 told that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. But the thing is that we need to understand there is nothing called traveling faster or nothing called transformation of information. No, it is happening instantaneously because the concept of time really doesn't have a meaning in the Schrödinger equation if we take the time independent Schrödinger equation. So these are the few things which I thought to have a video to clear up these concepts. The wave function collapse, the quantum superposition, the quantum entanglement, very importantly, and that actually led to, Einstein quote this famous line, God does not play dice. So it is not a question of being a theist, it's not a question of being an atheist, it's not a question of believing in God or any religious taboos or any religious activities. It is just that the classical world, the deterministic world behaves in a different way and quantum mechanics behave in a totally different, bizarre If you read the Tagore-Einstein conversation, which I have already made long back a video, the first one, then what you will find is that the same thing is happening. The same conversation which Tagore and Einstein talked about, it is about the same thing. Tagore was constantly telling that God is within me, it is not out there. Two things are not different. And here you see in quantum mechanics also, Einstein telling that two things are different. Because God is something which is located out somewhere, which is in much harmony, and it continues. But the belief that I have is to worship the God, but we cannot find out the real truth. Tagore says that we can find out the real truth if we start to believe on ourselves, and God lies within me, not out there. So that's all for today's video. I thought to give you a little bit an insight on thinking Einstein, his beliefs and thoughts, and I hope I can clear up the general misconceptions which people have, and these are dangerous in our journey of physics and mathematics. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe to my channel Physics for Students. Click on the bell icon to get all the notification from Physics for Students. Thank you very much for watching this video.
Thank you for watching this video. We appreciate your time and patience. If you want to connect with us and provide further feedback, comment or suggestions, please email us at contact.physicsforstudents@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. See you soon in the next video.